Hey guys, I jumped on the bandwagon and I got one of these little cell phone selfie little holder light things so you can see me a little better. But I don't know if I like this thing because it clips on my table and it's a pain in the ass because it's a little bendy, little wiry thing. So whatever, we'll work with it. Anyways, I was just watching a video on near-death experiences and how this doctor that was working in like an ICU ward and like hospice, and how every single person that he has resuscitated, the first thing they said was, "Why did you bring me back?" I don't know why I feel the need to do a video about this, but something needs to come out. So I pulled some cards. And first, I need to talk about my own experience with this, because that's exactly what I said or thought to myself, because I have died myself, which is strange because I've always been, I had psychic abilities and just had these insights of things. My first ex, I don't know if you watch my videos, Mr. Monkey, but I used to be creepily intuitive. But I had this experience where I was with my masculine, and it wasn't necessarily a vision, but I heard this voice when I was waking up on our trip from a Valentine's Day weekend that we spent together, and it told me, "You will die within a year." I freaked out for a couple months, like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, I thought I had cancer, I went to the doctor and I had lumps in my breast, so I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die from breast cancer, blah blah blah, but it was fine. It was just because I was drinking coffee or something. And he thought I was nuts, but come to find out, 9 months later, I died. And it was from a drug overdose. I was by myself, and I am so lucky because I don't know anybody else that had this chance, that I miraculously came back to life. When you piss and shit in your pants, you know you're dead. Because I came back, and the first thought that came to my mind was, why the fuck did God bring me back? I have a purpose. And most people that have had a near-death experience, or people that have tried to take their own lives and something divinely intervened that stopped them, because I had a fucked up childhood and I have attempted suicide dozens of times, and every time something stopped me. There is a reason for that. There is a reason that anybody that has tried that, anybody that has actually died and come back, there's a reason you're here. You have a purpose. And I can't tell you how many dozens of friends that have died of addiction and overdose that did not get that chance. You're dead, you're dead. They are gone. They did not get the chance that I had. So, on to reading my cards and going along with the video that I just watched. The guy was talking about death being a purification process, and an awakening, which is actually a card that I just got. Purification. Purification. From the the Gaia Oracle. I mean, that's a strong message. I mean, I know many people have not gone through that, haven't gone through an actual physical death, but many on the spiritual journey have gone through an ego death, or, a death of their old self, and have been created into a new version of themselves. So it doesn't necessarily have to be literal, but there is always, on the spiritual journey, a death of some sort. In my case, it was an actual physical death. My heart stopped, I was dead, and God brought me back to life. Now, I know some people preach that sexual energy should be repressed, that it's just needlessly releasing this energy out of your body, but that is not my belief. Sexual energy is healing, and as my cards are saying, it is purifying. Now, I'm not saying go out and fuck everybody and just, you know, it's useless to have a bunch of partners that you're exchanging that energy with just to get the gratification. You can self-gratify. I mean, I'm not going to get into that in detail, but orgasm is healing. Orgasm is extremely powerful. It's connected to Kundalini, in which I will make a video on Kundalini at some point. But it has a way of charging your body and releasing like toxic energy. It's like, if you think of it on an energetic level, you explode, like energetically explode, and it releases toxins, it releases negative energy, it releases pent up like emotions and energy. It's very purifying. And the whole spiritual awakening, some type of death process, whether literal or metaphorical, spiritual, ego death, death of the old, and, awakening into the new, it reveals a path that it opens your eyes, it opens your mind, it opens your intuition to more of a divine path, your purpose, and it makes you more susceptible to receiving the messages from source. Like, I'm not religious, like, I don't see God as a religious sense. I think of more like a universal energy. That is how I perceive it, but everybody has their own perceptions. But I call it, the universe, source, whatever. But when you have the death of the old, which for me it was literal, I literally died, and it it took away a part of me that needed to die. Like, when I woke up, I was pretty pissed off, and my first thought was, why did you bring me back? It took me a few months to, come to terms with the actual spiritual significance of what had happened. And I started to truly feel connected to source. Like, I had to go through this path, to change, to transform, to be the phoenix, to burn into ashes and rise out of them as a brand new person. And many people don't get the chance. Like, many people are too blind to see the significance of these kinds of experiences, but many are waking up. And it's so beautiful. It's so nice to have a community of people that understand the significance of what is happening these days, because some pretty big shit is about to hit the fan. There's gonna be some pretty big changes, and a lot of people have, I don't know, have gone through literal death or metaphorical spiritual death of some sort, but those that have, I think you'll understand what I'm talking about, that something had to die in order to be reborn and transform into something new, in order for you to wake up. Like, I've always been spiritual, but until I actually died, I didn't get it. My eyes were still clouded with this three-dimensional reality, with materialistic things. But once I started to, get my bearings after coming back, I realized that those things don't matter. There is so much more. And it helps you to find your path, to find your purpose. There's a reason for it, and it's for transformation. Like, something old has to die. Your ego has to die. Because with your ego, I mean, it has a purpose. It's for self-preservation, but your ego is not going to get you to the next level. You have to live from your heart. You have to live from your heart. You have to see from your heart. You cannot see with your mind. The ego wants you to be afraid, but your heart is open. You have to transform in order to be reborn into what this world needs. This world needs people that are awake and that can see the problems. And if you're not going through that transformation, you're still asleep. So it's like many of us are going through these types of deaths so that we can be the front lines for those that are still asleep. We have to help those come to this point that we're not sheep. We will not be controlled. We have to wake up. We have to transform. We have to become different. We can't always do what has always been done. History will repeat itself, and history cannot repeat itself, or we are truly lost. I have no idea if this made sense, but this is what came out. I don't know why Spirit wanted me to say this, but transformation is a beautiful thing. And I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna close this out. I love you guys. If this made sense, please let me know, because I don't know why I had to make this video. But I love you. The universe loves you. Transformation is a beautiful thing. Live from your heart, not from your ego. Love. Good night.